Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please hit the subscribe. Now this start video. Joe Miñoso, who has played the steadfast and courageous firefighter Joe Cruz since the very first season of Chicago Fire, recently offered some candid, humorous insights into his experiences working with Steven Weber on Chicago Med. In a recent conversation with Screen Rant, Miñoso lightheartedly called Weber really hard to work with, a playful remark that offered a peek into the dynamic and camaraderie shared among the cast members of the One Chicago franchise. While his comment was made in jest, it highlights the strong relationships the actors share both on and off screen. These behind-the-scenes interactions help foster the genuine chemistry that is evident in their performances, particularly when the characters cross paths in the larger One Chicago universe. Further into the conversation, Miñoso also expressed his deep respect and admiration for his co-stars, noting the collaborative spirit that drives the success of the entire One Chicago franchise. The light-hearted comment about Weber was just one of many moments where Miñoso spoke with enthusiasm about his experiences in the One Chicago universe, particularly as the highly anticipated crossover event between Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD draws closer. The crossover, which is set to air on January 29, 2025, marks the first time the three shows will collaborate on a single high-stakes storyline since 2019. This monumental event brings together the heroes from all three series in a thrilling narrative centered around a catastrophic gas explosion in a high-rise building. The upcoming crossover event, titled In the Trenches, is shaping up to be a nail-biting, action-packed storyline that promises to push each of the beloved characters to their limits. NBC's official logline for the event teases the dramatic stakes, saying, "The One Chicago universe comes together as characters from Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD unite to face an unprecedented crisis." As fans of the series know, when these first responders and medical professionals come together, the stakes are always sky-high, and this event will be no exception. For Joe Miñoso's character, Joe Cruz, the crossover will provide a deeper look into the firefighter's character, which has been a fan favorite for years. Miñoso gave viewers a glimpse into the storyline, describing how Cruz's fierce love for his family plays a central role in his actions during the disaster. However, it's Cruz's devotion to those he loves that leads to not only triumphs, but also potential risks that could have devastating consequences. Miñoso's teasing about the upcoming event indicated that while Cruz's personal arc will be resolved within the crossover, the ramifications of his actions will reverberate in the following episodes. The emotional complexity of Cruz's relationships, especially with his family, adds an extra layer of tension and drama to the event. The ongoing fallout from Cruz's decisions will keep fans on the edge of their seats, ensuring that the aftermath of the disaster won't be easily forgotten. Steven Weber, who portrays Dr. Dean Archer on Chicago Med, also recently opened up about the upcoming crossover in his own interview with Screen Rant. Weber expressed how much he is looking forward to the event, highlighting how rare and exciting it is for the three One Chicago shows to come together for a shared storyline. Reflecting on the monumental nature of the crossover, Weber made a bold comparison, likening the event to the grand spectacle of the 2019 film Avengers: Endgame. This comparison illustrates the scale and intensity of the crossover, where the stakes are sky-high and every character has their moment to shine. Weber's comparison of the event to Avengers: Endgame is particularly fitting, given the global phenomenon the Marvel film became. Much like how Endgame brought together a massive roster of superheroes for an epic battle, the One Chicago crossover will unite the heroes from three distinct series to face an overwhelming, life-threatening situation. For Weber's character, Dr. Archer, the crossover is shaping up to be an emotional and physically demanding showcase, pushing him into high-pressure, life-or-death scenarios that will test his medical expertise and personal limits. Speaking to the intensity of the event, Weber also praised the rigorous physical demands placed on the actors, especially in some of the action-heavy sequences that are integral to the storyline. With a gas explosion threatening countless lives, doctors, firefighters, and police officers must work together in a race against time to save as many people as possible. This sense of urgency will undoubtedly keep viewers on the edge of their seats as the characters are forced to make gut-wrenching decisions in a desperate effort to avert even greater tragedy. The crossover will be an ambitious and thrilling spectacle that brings together the best of Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD in one explosive event. The narrative centers around a catastrophic gas explosion in a downtown high-rise building, leaving first responders and medical personnel scrambling to save lives in a tense life-or-death battle. The event will feature a large ensemble cast, with Miñoso's Joe Cruz playing a central role as the team faces not only the physical dangers of the explosion, but also the emotional and psychological toll of dealing with such a traumatic disaster. For Cruz, this event will be particularly personal, as his love for his family drives him to take extreme measures to protect those he holds dear. Miñoso's portrayal of Cruz has always emphasized the character's deep sense of responsibility and loyalty to his loved ones, and this storyline will continue to explore how far he is willing to go to ensure their safety. However, as Miñoso hints, Cruz's choices may have unintended consequences, leaving fans wondering what the long-term impact of the explosion will be on both Cruz and those around him. As for Weber's Dr. Archer, the crossover will push his character to new heights. Dr. Archer, known for his no-nonsense attitude and steadfast dedication to his patients, will be thrust into high-stakes situations where every decision matters. As the doctors work to save survivors from the explosion, Archer's clinical skills and emotional resolve will be tested in ways that are sure to challenge him. For Weber, this represents a thrilling opportunity to showcase the complexity of his character while working alongside the other members of the One Chicago family to tell a larger, interconnected story. As the One Chicago franchise continues to dominate television with its gripping storylines and compelling characters, the upcoming crossover event promises to be a standout moment in the history of the franchise. With the high stakes of a gas explosion setting the stage for a series of emotional and action-packed moments, fans can expect to see their favorite characters face the ultimate test of courage and resilience. The stakes will be higher than ever, and each character will have a pivotal role to play in the race against time to save as many lives as possible. The crossover event also promises to give fans a deeper look into the personal lives and struggles of the main characters, particularly Joe Cruz, whose love for his family will drive much of the emotional weight of the storyline. For Dr. Archer, the event represents an opportunity to highlight the challenges faced by medical professionals in times of crisis, showcasing his commitment to saving lives in the face of overwhelming odds. For fans of Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD, this crossover event will be a can't-miss television moment that brings the entire One Chicago family together for an unforgettable, action-packed narrative. As the One Chicago crossover event approaches, fans are eagerly awaiting the action-packed episode that will showcase the best of Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD. The collaboration marks a pivotal moment in the franchise, highlighting the unique strengths and skills each group brings to the table when faced with an unprecedented disaster. In addition to the thrilling action sequences, the emotional depth of the characters will be front and center. Joe Cruz's personal journey, driven by his deep love for his family, will undoubtedly resonate with viewers as he faces life-or-death decisions that could have long-lasting consequences. Meanwhile, Dr. Archer's experience navigating high-pressure medical scenarios will demonstrate the intensity of the challenges faced by first responders and healthcare professionals alike. This crossover is more than just a spectacle. It's an opportunity to explore the relationships between these characters and showcase their growth and resilience. The collaboration between the three shows not only promises an exciting and intense storyline, but also emphasizes the powerful themes of teamwork, sacrifice, and dedication. As the countdown to January 29, 2025 continues, Fans can look forward to an unforgettable episode that will leave them eagerly anticipating the next chapter in the One Chicago universe. The much-anticipated crossover event, In the Trenches, will air on January 29, 2025, bringing together the worlds of Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD for a truly epic collaboration. Fans should prepare for a thrilling, high-energy episode that will test the limits of their favorite characters as they face one of their most dangerous challenges yet.